The aim of this research was to hear about community-based energy projects in low-income communities and hear about how they came about. We wanted to do this so that we could improve our understanding and develop policy and practice recommendations to support more projects like these to emerge. And we think that our findings are relevant for local authorities, the community energy sector, community development and regeneration organisations and others. So if well managed, community energy projects have multiple economic, health, social and environmental benefits. For example, by reducing the amount that people spend on their gas and electricity, by generating income, or by building confidence and pride in a community around a project. So we interviewed 12 groups from across the UK, from Plymouth to Hartlepool, from Newcastle to Nottingham. And most of the projects involved the installation of solar panels, but we also spoke with a community wind power project and a really interesting collective purchasing initiative in Edinburgh. In most cases, community energy projects in low-income communities came about as a result of a community organisation, such as a regeneration charity or a development trust, who saw an opportunity to act on energy. By comparison, in more affluent areas, we see the formation of community groups who have a specific focus on climate change or energy, who then drive a project forward. Other critical partners were local businesses, energy agencies and local authorities. And we found that local authorities were really critical in providing the initial spark behind projects, for example by convening multiple stakeholders and providing opportunities for discussion. We found that projects were really time-consuming and took quite a long time to come to fruition. They also needed lots of cash and expertise. But where there was supportive policy and funds to enable this to happen, it was amazing how much some projects had achieved. For example, Hartley Power in Hartlepool, Moses in Nottingham, and you can read about all of the projects that we interviewed in our report. One approach that is seen to work really well in low-income communities is where community energy assets are developed by professional bodies and then passed back into community control. And Gen Community's work in Barnsley is a really good example of this approach, which can help to build confidence and capacity in the community around a concrete project that the community can relate to. We also found that government policy is really critical. So having supportive policies at all administrative levels creates mandates, which leads to funding, and that gives confidence to communities to forge ahead with projects. But policy needs to be joined up, and it needs to have a long-term view, and it also needs to ensure that the benefits of community renewable projects are seen to be fairly shared. And low-income communities really need extra support to ensure that they're not left behind when new opportunities emerge. And finally, an observation on the importance of narratives. Telling inspiring stories about successful community energy projects can be enough to get communities involved. For some, simply hearing about how communities are already experiencing the massive social, economic, health and environmental benefits of community energy projects is enough to get them on board. But stories need to be relatable. People need to feel like they're hearing about people like them who are already achieving before they feel they can do it themselves.